I've been getting questions about what kind of accessories to buy for the T2i or 550D, depending on where you are in the world. I'm not going to give you any specific recommendations. In other words, you should buy this. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what I've got, and we're going to go over what it costs, and we'll go from that step to see what would be the prices for a complete kit. And then I'll take a look at how we go about buying some of that stuff. Now, obviously, the first thing is the camera. Now, I bought the T2i from Amazon.com. They happen to have them in stock. They were $850. Shipping was free, and I was able to get it within a few days. Now, I could have paid for shipping and had it the next day, but I'm a cheapskate, so I don't do that. The next thing you're going to need will be, oh, that's, by the way, that's with that 18 by 55 kit lens. I really recommend getting that. It's a good lens, nice crisp lens, and until you buy some other lenses, you're going to be sitting around looking at the camera body wishing you had something to put on it. The next thing you're going to need is a memory chip. These can be priced up and down the scale. And I use a class 4 16 gigabyte chip and don't have any problems at all. At least right now I don't. I've heard from people that have class 2 chips and have had problems with them, bumped up to a class 10. You know, they're across the board. You can get any size you want. Budget probably $50 for a really good chip of any kind of size. The next thing I really do recommend is the battery grip. This not only gives you 2 extra batteries, depending on where you buy it, but it also gives you something else to hold on to with a whole slew of buttons and controls to operate the camera. I think it's indispensable. Maybe you can get by without it. That's up to you. As far as lenses go, there's a lot of choices out there, and when it comes to buying older vintage lenses, there's a lot to choose from. I personally like these Russian lenses. This one is the Helios 44M, and let me take the adapter off of it. We'll talk about that in just a second. It's a 58 millimeter prime lens, which I think works out to, I don't know, you multiply that times 1.6, and that gives you an idea of what it really is as far as a lens. It's easy to work with. They can be bought for practically nothing. Price range of anywhere from $20 to $50 for a brand new one. And I say brand new, they were all made probably in the 80s. Gives you an idea. They come from Russia. And most of them you're going to buy are going to come from Russia. So expect to wait a while, maybe up to a month. But generally shipping is free. And we'll have some links and things to show that off. The adapter. Now generally, you're going to want what's called an M42 to EOS adapter. And what that means simply is it can accept the threads from these Russian lenses, which are M42 type, and make it where it fits on the front of our T2i. Now, this one came with another accessory, but you can get them that have the autofocus confirm chip built right in. And that's nice. That's a handy feature to have, because you can just half push the button and you'll hear the beep. Unfortunately, that doesn't work in video mode, but you can push the button in here. You can switch it to a camera mode or a still picture mode and get your focus and be sure of what you're doing if you're outside. Anyway, these can be had on eBay. They come from China. So again, it may take, I got mine in 4 or 5 days, the one that had the chip on it. But it can take anywhere from 5 days to up to a month. Generally, the shipping is free. So that's a plus too. As far as the FD lenses, which I think are probably about the best deal going for used lenses or older lenses or vintage lenses, but then there's the adapter. You've got to have this adapter that takes the old style FD lenses, which they used to use on the Canon AE1s back in the 70s and 80s. You can get some real deals on these things. You can buy primes, you can buy telephotos. Again, eBay is your friend when it comes to buying lenses. Just watch out for the shipping costs. This adapter came from a company in Hong Kong. It cost me $33 and the shipping was free. It has the autofocus confirmation chip on it. Yes, $33. But if I'm not going to use anything but FD lenses, all I have to do is put this thing on the camera and just forget about it. One fits all the FD lenses. Really, the only time I've got to change is if I'm going to go to one of the M42s. You might be find it money well spent to just stick with FD lenses. Again, You can find primes all the way through telephotos, wide angles, everything. And yes, there's some that are expensive, but if you're a careful shopper, you can get some deals. So that's as far as the basics. You know, that's your camera, your battery, your chip, and your lenses. Apart from that, about the only other accessory I'm going to recommend is going to be a shotgun microphone. This one is an Audio-Technica ATR 55, and again, it's a shotgun microphone. I bought this one as a refurbished model. I think I paid $35 for it. I don't think Audio-Technica makes this model anymore, but they have some that are very similar. They can be had for around $50, and the sound quality is just fine. It certainly beats the sound quality from the microphone that's built into the camera. So, I don't know, that's probably about $1,100 worth of stuff right there. But that's pretty cheap to be in the business of making a film that the quality is every bit as good as, well, I shouldn't say every bit as good, but it's pretty darn good quality. Certainly beats the SD quality that we had just a few years ago. So again, if you're going to be out shooting with your T2i, that's just a quick synopsis of some of the options that you might want to consider.